In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aim to destroy the world. Humans can do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men. X-Men.
Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 50 years, it would have been pretty hard to miss the X-Men. From their 1963 comic book debut, both animated and live action TV shows.
I'm going to be setting up a committee.
Not to mention some of the films.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Yeah, maybe another time. But let's look at one of the very first games.
X-Men. Go and save the city.
Now, full disclaimer, the title of this video is 90s arcade games you've definitely played. Although I've definitely played this, probably once. That's not necessarily to say it was bad, I just rarely come across it. Don't get me wrong, I was a fan of the 90s TV show, and if I see this, I'll definitely put a 20p in and give it a go, but I rarely had the chance. Released in 1992 by Konami, the X-Men is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, very much in the same lines of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Simpsons arcade game released. You had a choice of characters from Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler and Dazzler. A HD port of the game was released by Konami on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live in 2010, and respectively on iOS and Android, but are no longer available. The objective is to stop the villain Magneto from wreaking havoc on human civilization, fighting through enemies from the comics such as the Sentinels. Magneto kidnaps Professor X, prompting the heroes to go on a rescue mission. The characters are controlled with a standard joystick, an attack button and a jump button, and a mutant power button. Every character is able to fight with punches and kicks and other close combat attacks. Each character also has a unique mutant power which can be used to defeat multiple enemies on screen at once. The use of the mutant power is effective but also costly, since it causes a character to use 3 health points. Normally a character who drops below 4 health points can no longer use any mutant powers, but it is also possible for characters to obtain bonus mutant powers which can be stored like items. On the setup of the cabinets you had 2 variations, one supporting 4 players simultaneously and the other supporting 6. On the levels themselves you have the city where the boss is Pyro, the Sentinel factory where you face off against the Blob, Island M jungle where you face Wendigo, in the Island M caves you face off against Nimrod and the White Queen, followed by Juggernaut. On the Island M ruins you also face off against the Living Monolith.
Magneto is planning to attack Earth from his asteroid base. You must foil his plan before it's too late. Go after the giant Sentinel.
Finally, when you get to Asteroid M, Magneto's base, you face off against several of the bosses from the previous levels, followed by Mystique disguised as Magneto, then finally battling Magneto himself.
I am Magneto, master of Magnet.
The animation of the X-Men and the supervillains is based on the 1989 X-Men pilot episode titled Pride of the X-Men.
Magneto's hordes are on the way to pillage, burn and plunder, but there's one team that will not yield, the team that strikes like thunder. X-Men, X-Men, this is the day, this is the day. X-Men, X-Men, coming your way.
In the sometimes forgotten 1996 Generation X pilot, in the scene where Jubilee is playing Virtual Fighter, the X-Men arcade cabinet can be seen in the background. So what's the verdict? Overall I'd say this game is okay, not quite as good as previous Konami releases such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Simpsons. worth a play. I was a big fan of the TV show at the time, and I like the animation style. It's very similar to that. Gameplay is a little bit repetitive, as are some of the enemies you face, but again, the best way to play a game like this is with a group of friends, and if you can do 6 at one time, that's pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this video of 90s arcade games you've definitely played. Please remember to like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and click on the icon on the screen to watch our X-Men long play version. Thanks for the view, and we'll see you soon.